Hi, I'm Brandy Pardee. My husband Josh and I are here at First Free, and we have 3 kids, 2 sons and a daughter who keep us busy and are full of life and lots of energy. I had just reached a point in my life where, as I began to be honest with where I was really at, I just started to realize that actually I was really feeling tired and discontent and actually really burnt out. And it got to a point where I remember sitting on our living room floor changing our oldest son's diaper and just thinking, God, if this is really what following you looks like or feels like, I don't really know that I want to be a part of it. I had felt like I was doing all of what I had been told to do as a Christian or as the right things. I'd been checking off a lot of those things on the list and had expectations of growth or even just feeling maybe more peace or love or joy. But at the end of the day, I started to pay attention to longings and desires within me. And if I was honest, the things that I was doing, which were good things, ultimately weren't forming me in a way of becoming more like Christ. I actually was angry. I actually was more full of pride and probably judgmental towards people, thinking I was better than them because I was doing everything right. But at the end of the day, I continued to look at the longings and the desires within myself, as well as the fruit. And I didn't see the fruit of the Spirit. I didn't see that I was being marked by more love and more joy and more peace. And ultimately, I couldn't say that I trusted Jesus more. I had a deep desire for authentic and vulnerable relationships. And when I engaged in some of our normal Christian, whether it was a Sunday morning or life group or certain even gatherings, I ended up feeling more shallow and disconnected. Like I would be in a room with a lot of other people, but I actually didn't feel more known or more seen. I also just really desired to experience God's love, to be confident of it and rest in it more. As I started to be honest about my desires and open about them, and was really finding new practices or new wineskins for how to interact with God and to listen to Him and hear His voice, I started to have a new rubric, a new measuring principle even of what I was participating in and with. And ultimately it was, is what I'm doing or seeking or being a part of producing this fruit of the Spirit within me? And so am I more and more an increasing measure over the last month or 3 months or even 6 months marked by the fruit of the Spirit? Do I have greater joy or peace or patience? Or as I participate in this, are the life-giving things of the Spirit beginning to abide deep within me, and not in a head knowledge of knowing the right things or saying the right things, but in an internal way that is transforming to who I am and to why I'm doing what I'm doing. Because I've been on a journey of being willing to be honest about my questions, my unmet expectations, the longing, and have found God to be good and faithful, to see how He's brought other people alongside me in the journey, I feel like it's given me a lot of opportunities to come alongside others, to just speak a word of encouragement or a word of peace. And I hope that because of my story, that others will also feel encouraged, that their questions aren't too big for God, but that ultimately that they're welcome to be in the wrestling, to be in the process, to not have everything put together or for them to know all of the answers, but ultimately it allows us to create space for one another on the journey and to walk alongside one another as we seek God together.